So, this is Nate Johnson backstage with Jimmy Cricket at De Montfort Hall. Hello, Jimmy.
Hiya, Nathan.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All of the buzz is here for the excitement for the show tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Before you were a red coat, you worked in a betting shop when you were 16?
Yeah. Basically, I filled the 11 plus at home in Belfast, and that was sort of in the mid sort of 1950, 56. But there was this new idea to have a secondary school, so anybody that failed the 11 plus, it was like a safety net. So I went to this school called St. Patrick's, and although I was always wanting into comedy, so I didn't really learn too much. But the head teacher just a few months ago said, can you write out something, because you're one of our past pupils that sort of, done well. I said, have I? Yeah. So I said, but I really didn't achieve much. She said, but that's good. She said, because if you can do it, they can, which I thought was lovely. So I'm a poster boy for the non-achievers, really. And that's where the betting shop thing came, because I didn't think it was just, there's a job in a betting shop, there's a job in a factory. What I was doing was, the races, I didn't really bet too much, but I used to write up the names of the horses in chalk on the blackboard. And then this voice would come and say, and the result of the 2:30 at Campton is, and then I'd get the chalk, and then she'd say, number one, I'd write it up. So when all the punters would come in, they'd say, they'd tear up their thing if they didn't back the winner, or they'd say, oh, great, I won. So I'd see all the emotions in a betting shop.
Brilliant. And is there more?
There's more. I like it, Nathan. I like it, yeah. Well, there is, because one day this fella rushed in, and he said to the clerk, behind the counter, he said, I've just backed up, and the clerk said, you backed a 5-to-1 win? He said, no, I've just backed a f. He said, you backed a 50-to-1 win? He said, no, I've just backed a f. He said, you backed the favourite? He said, no. He said, right, listen, there's a fiver. Go and have a drink, right? Relax and come back and tell me what you backed. And the guy's walking out the betting shop, and he turned to this guy and he said, he's a funny bookmaker. He's just given me £5 and I've backed a 5-ton lorry into his Rolls Royce.
Madness.
I love a big punchline.
Yeah,
I love a big punchline at the end.
So people recognize you and remember you for your one-liners, your Wellington boots, your hat.
Yeah, I mean, they don't sort of specifically, because I've been on the TV for a while, they don't sort of recognize right away. But I suppose when I talk, obviously with an strong Irish accent, or I'm in a garage and that, and then they say, I remember you, and things like that. So, it's lovely. You go with the flow. That's the one thing that the show business taught me, You're up and down. I've never stopped working, but sort of you go in and out of fads, don't you? And just ride. Were you there? If it's not, I'm just happy, I'm happy I'm 6 foot above the ground, Nathan?
This is true. So the people who do remember you for those things that you usually wear, but what would you usually wear when you're not on stage?
I've got a little number here. Notice my pants are sort of those modern things. I've got my Rory Bremner socks. Brilliant. 18 holes. Never let you down. Mrs. Cricket likes me to wear a tie and a suit sometimes when we go out, which I quite like that. And I mean, why I'm thrilled about this, Nathan, is that I've got my own little show. Tonight, obviously, we're all on together and we're all plugging our shows, a bit like Edinburgh, But I've got my own little family show at the Curve, the beautiful new Curve. I've never been before. And that's on the 23rd of May. Now, the difference with that, Nathan, I might just sort of say, is that it's an afternoon show. It's at 2:15 for the families, because I've always been a family actor, basically. And it's only what we've done here as well. Jeff, who runs everything with Chris Foot, we decided just to keep at a very acceptable level the prices. So it's just £10 to get in. I believe in that in a recession, you see, because things are tough out there. I don't care what anybody says. I drove into a car wash, right? They were expecting me to supply my own washing powder. He said, where's the aerial?
Oh, here we go.
Hey?
This guy.
I mean, what is this all about, Last week, I bought a watch on tick.
Oh.
A pair of glasses on spec.
Oh.
Are you ready for the third?
Go on.
A Peter Pan DVD on the Never Never.
Oh.
I love it when the jokes come in threes. Yeah, no, thanks for letting me plug that, because
Yeah,
I'm excited to be coming back to Leicester, you know.
Who are you excited to see this year?
Well, John Shuttleworth, love him very much. Dave Spikey, Pith the dragon, the magic dragon, he's fabulous. And yeah, because and there's obviously new people. I'm always love new people. I became friends with Tim Vine and Milton Jones because I love they do one-liners like me, you know. And I've got a feeling affinity with them because you know, they're very, very good, these guys, and they keep it clean too, you know, Nathan.
Yeah. So you've been in the comedy business for a while. And,
what time is it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, would you believe? I would think it'd be 40. When I first met my wife, I mean, I was toying about with it when I left. You know, even if you took up the story from the betting shop days, I always went into talent shows. And then I went off to be a Redcoat and Butlins. And then I started to do the clubs, the northern clubs. All around here in Leicester was lots and lots of clubs. Would you believe there was a club called the Boot and Shoe Club?
Boot and Shoe.
Yeah, I always remember that name. And De Mumford Hall, I worked here before, I think it was about 11 or 12 years ago, in a comedian show with the late, great Frank Carson, Norman Collier, and Duncan Norville, and we did this touring mainstream show, which was lovely. So I've always had a close proximity, affiliation with the De Mumford Hall. So lovely. There'll be a great atmosphere. It'll be packed tonight, you know? It'll be fabulous.
As you said, you usually have a family a show that.
Oh, very orientated, yes, very orientated.
Have you ever had any heckles?
I had a fabulous heckle once when I wasn't long in the business and I was in Liverpool. And I started a routine by saying, you know, there's a lot of crime about. And this fella shouts, yeah, how much are you getting?
Oh, brilliant.
Which I just thought was the funniest thing, you know?
In Liverpool.
Oh, well, that means Scousers, you know.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. That's all we've got time for today.
Well, thank you, Nathan. It's been a pleasure being with you.
It's been brilliant having you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Have a good show.